Talk Streamcast. If you're listening to this right now, we are actually live for the first time on moontalkmedia.com. You can check out our first episode. We'll have a couple episodes up there later. Matt, what's going on, man?
Let's go. It's so exciting. We got episode 1 up. We're recording episode 12 right now, and we're about to blast off four episodes tomorrow.
Yep, total of 5. Shout out to NRM working with us. Super excited to see how everything progresses, but finally happy to have something out, man.
Yeah, right. It's been so much fun. We've been in the lab cooking.
All summer. It's been a long time coming. So I know you and I, there's a sense of relief because we just started our last pod. Now this one's coming out. So now it's time to keep things afloat and keep things going, man.
This is something we've envisioned since it must have been January, February, where we first started talking about our last podcast, the one we started together before coming over to NRM. And
Absolutely.
it's so cool to finally be here. We're heading here into October, headed into the Michigan winter, and we got lots of content to bring everybody.
Yeah, man, it's super surreal, like recording in our basement to here. Like, whole squad has been dope, so it's been great to work with everyone. And again, looking forward to moving on through, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Things are getting more legit, like Bitcoin out in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that it officially went through? Colorado's able to accept Bitcoin for payment on taxes.
I did hear that. What were your thoughts initially? Because I had a few, and some of it was good, and some of it was like, oh, damn.
My thoughts were cool, and wait and see how it all is going to play out. And I know that's kind of a blanketed statement that we've probably said
everything
a fair amount of times, but I was like, I think the most intriguing part to me is a state government accepting a currency that fluctuates in price so drastically. Like it's depending on what time they're getting these payments or what Bitcoin's price is in April and whatnot. Like they're getting an investment that could go down, but as bullish as we are about crypto long term, maybe not next year, but if Bitcoin rate, if it goes back to 80 or it goes to 100 grand, like it's really Colorado, like states are going to have that type of currency on their balance sheet.
Right. And
weird.
To your point, like say I have X amount of taxes due, and at that point in time, my Bitcoin is worth X amount. But when they actually get the receipt that I did my taxes and it plummets, how does that work? Those are the questions I have, because like you're right, it is an asset, but with it being an asset, it's super volatile. So like it could be up 40%, or it could be down 25%. So it's like, are you time stamping when I turn in my taxes, or
it's gonna be? You're right. That's really interesting, because I was about to say, like, are we gonna have more decision-making ability in our court of when we can submit our taxes? But I guess it can't be. It's got to be between January and April, right? Just the way the calendar and everything works now. So, yeah, I mean, finding the right time in those 4 months, it's gonna be very interesting,
right? Because like even as the person doing the taxes is like, choose your time wisely, because if you did your taxes in February and then April, it's down 30%. And for whatever reason, Colorado is still accepting that same threshold. Like,
you want to pay with whatever's worth less. Yeah, pay the US dollar in that time, or pay the Bitcoin, like depending on, it's going to be weird. Yeah,
so I just like, that's what I thought initially. And then also it's just like my conspiracy government involvement in all this. Like, is this a good thing? Like,
I will say I'm glad Michigan isn't the first one testing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to see how it all plays out. But I think long term it'll be a good thing, or at least an easier thing.
Yeah, I think it is cool that they're recognizing different assets as payment for taxes, if anything.
Yeah.
That's cool from this. Long term, I don't know how it's going to look, but if it opens up the doors to like other currencies or other types of assets being able to exchanged, and like us as taxpayers being able to have the decision-making process available to us to choose if we want to do liquid cash, if we want to do an NFT, if we want to do
You're
Bitcoin.
So right.
I think that's cool, but
because we just pay with US dollar nowadays, and we don't have any choice. Not that there have been other currencies for our entire lives, but you're right. It's even more interesting than I thought.
Yeah, like how are they evaluating this stuff? Like, that's definitely gonna watch that, because
because we had talked, I think it was last episode, the benefits of being able to run taxes through the blockchain, or at least having, some software be able to calculate your gains and losses throughout the year from NFT and crypto gains or losses.
Yeah.
But from this perspective, just paying with the currency, it's going to bring up a lot of questions. There's going to be something that comes out of this that we just don't know yet.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Cool. It's cool.
Most likely more questions than answers, honestly.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like this changes the game. Like for whoever you go, if you have somebody doing your taxes, like whatever your accountant thinks, like this could like trickle down a lot.
You're so right. You're so right. You know what it is? It's the bear market right now. We're in the heat of it. We just made it past the merge, and we're still alive.
Hey,
we're still whole.
We're still whole. I still need my sound button thing.
To hit the
the round of applause.
Yes, let's go. But being in a bear market doesn't mean all NFT projects, all crypto projects are taking the winter off, taking the summer off.
Oh yeah.
We just heard about Doodles. You texted me when this went down. Doodles. They just got about a $54 million investment that values them at, what'd you say, $704 million?
$704 million.
Tell me, when did you hear about this?
I saw that, because I've been like following Doodles because I want to get into the community. I'm not in the Discord yet because I'm a part of too many servers and it's kind of overwhelming, but I just kind of keep track of them on Twitter. But they just recently just got this new investment, and this investor sees them as the NFT project moving forward.
Really?
To be a part of. And I don't have too many details on that. I've been personally just like trying to stay away from it so I can like not feel like FOMO and want to hop in and whatever. I've been waiting for the Series 2 actually, because they've been teasing that for a while. But
we just had the image up of Series 2, the Doodles 2, which I didn't even know about. I knew they had some derivative a couple months ago after their first one, but they've always been, to me too, just a really intriguing project. Their color scheme, the way the actual doodles kind of come off, it seems really cool. And a lot of they've got a big community, and they all love their doodles.
And they've got a ton of like past collaborations that were super successful. I think they collaborated with a couple other projects too. And then we saw, I forget the guy's name, but we saw the creator at VCon, and he was the one that stuck out to me, like out of all the creators, like that's a community that like I want to be a part of for sure. Like obviously, at World of Women, I was already involved, and I still love being involved with that. But it's just a little bit over my price point at this point in time. But
when you were talking about the main investor thinking that they're the one, the NFT project to come out of this, was it Alexis Ohanian? Was it the founder of Reddit? Because I know
I think so, but I also don't want to like.
Misquote who? Got you. Yeah, I know him and his team led the funding round. There were multiple investors, multiple venture capital companies, but I know the little I know about Alexis Ohanian. He founded Reddit, but he's big in the Web3 space, both crypto and NFTs. So he's he's connected to a lot of people, and he's a fairly trusted mind in some of these next generation things.
And I'd be curious to see what some of these other projects are valued at too, like. With
how?
Yeah, like our favorite project, like the Boss Beauty project, with everything that they're doing, I wouldn't even know how to like look at that compared to their floor price and compared to however you measure these things. Like, I'm just curious how that valuation kind of came to.
It'd be cool if we could get someone from that venture capital team on to like understand how a project like that gets that type of valuation. Not saying that it's overvalued or undervalued, but like how? Because you can't just take it from floor price. You can't just. There's not enough history to any of these projects to like to put that into your financial mathematical calculations. But that's a buttload of money that they just dumped into it.
Because it's like, all right, what is Bored Apes worth? And then like we're gonna talk about Deadfellas, but they're a little bit lower if we're talking about floor price. But they do really cool collaborations with the Hundreds and now Wrangler and some other things. But how are they evaluated? Like
it's true. I don't understand. It's that experience around it. I know later on in this episode we're gonna talk very soon, actually, maybe right after this, we're gonna talk about the experience that these projects or any company, Web 2, Web 3, the experience that they build around their product or what they're giving to their consumers is maybe more important than ever. So I would be really interested to see Doodles. They got a floor price of 8.75 ETH, which is almost $12,000.
Yep.
Compared to some of the top projects, Bored Ape Yacht Club has a 75 ETH floor, almost 102,000. Moonbirds, 11 ETH floor, which is about $15,000. I know Doodles, from what I've heard, they're trying to build. We've talked about this with veefriends. We've used the same type of analogy, but they're trying to build a Disney-like IP that reaches all different ages of audience and uses their color scheme and their marketing in that way. They want to be a massive, $200 billion global conglomerate. So those are big words and big goals.
I've got a question for you that's a little bit off topic.
Hit me.
It's semi-related. So, like, these things, they excite me and they excite yourself. Like, for somebody new trying to get into NFTs, like, what do you think that what their first jump-in point would be? Do you think it's more of the Web 2 stuff, like some products that they have accessible right away if they're to join Doodles or some of these other communities? Or is it the long-term, hey, we want to be Disney. We want to start off drawing our Mickey Mouse drawings, and then in 15, 20 years, it becomes a movie studio, a theme park, a restaurant, whatever. Like,
that's a great question.
What do you think people, because I know there's a lot of people who have FOMO.
Yeah.
Like, but also are like, why would I get involved in this kind of stuff? Like, do you think it's more product driven if they have cool products, or long term?
That's a good question. It's a tough question.
Yeah.
I think the best answer, the one that we want everyone to take, is have a long-term approach with everything and just, find your community, stick with it through the ups and downs and everything. Obviously that's not realistic in every circumstance, but I caution people, and I've flipped some tokens before. I flip things. I sell trading cards, but I'd caution people to get into it just for the money or just for the flip. That can be part of your reason to get in, but like, if that's your only reason, there's just so much uncertainty, and I don't know. We've been so deep in this for the last 1-2 years. I don't have the answer to what makes a good project or what makes a good Web3 product, or is it swag? Is it merch? Is it?
It's all case by case.
Yeah. So,
and how you feel about it.
Yeah. So I off the cusp, I'd recommend obviously not buying anything the first time you go look at something, but do research on multiple projects. Get involved in their Discords and talk to people and the founders within the community to just understand what their short and long-term goals are. Because there are a lot of these people, they paint really long-term pictures of what they want to accomplish, but their short-term actions don't match up to that. They keep rolling out, more assets, more derivatives, more things that are all the people in the Discord want the floor price to rise. It's all the hype and the FOMO, and they want the money. So when these founders do that, they're just depreciating the real asset behind it. So when you find founders like Yam, A World of Women, or Lisa Mayer and Boss Beauties, or Gary Vaynerchuk and the veefriends, I wish I knew the Doodles founders, because it seems like they're acting in that way. Find those and really understand what their motives are. Those are 3 projects that I have no concern at all whatsoever. The floor price is actually down on all of them right now, but like,
they're actually way more expensive.
I'm not worried, because I know whether it takes 1 year or 5 years or 10 years, those 3
you trust in their vision. For sure. Yeah, I do too.
Those 3 are going to be in the mix, and if not, they all have good values surrounding them already. So if I take an L, I take an L. Yeah,
because like you can even see by their actions, and the reason why I asked that because like. For some people listening, they'll probably hear like Doodles. We were talking about crypto dick butts off mic. Like, some of these things are just like, people are probably like, yo, what the hell are they even talking about? So like, definitely urge people to go actually look at the stuff. You might think it's cool, it's not, but judge it how you want to judge it. That's how I look at this. Like, project that I really like, Bubble Goose Ballers. They've got dope swag coming out. Like, they partnered with Fubu. If merch is your thing, like that's probably one you want to check out.
And if they made that known from the start, like that was, you knew there's going to be some awesome merch coming along. This is at least up front the initial value for you.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. So and obviously I support the creator Carl Jones and his past projects and things like that. But I was listening to our banner right there and I was like, why would somebody give a shit about Doodles right now? So I was like trying to figure out, okay, how can we like break that down?
Maybe we revisit this in 2 weeks, or we revisit this later in the fall when we understand a little, like we're not owners of that project, so we can't get deep enough to know why. And
I would like to understand if we can find something. I don't know if we can, but why the valuation, why?
Right.
Yeah, because after hearing that, that's like an eye-popping number, but why would anybody care about that?
Right,
Being
true.
$754 million, you know what I mean?
We just gave ourselves some homework. We're going to do that. Yeah. We're going to find out about Doodles. But to piggyback, the thought just came to me as we were talking about Doodles and new people coming into this world, like what would make them want it. There we go. I'm mumbling again, but what I'm trying to get to is we had a conversation about DraftKings Reignmakers where they're not even heavy marketing their Reignmakers fantasy platform as NFTs. It's just Web3 related. It's digital cards, digital players. They know that there's still some stigma surrounded by it. There's still just the word, the acronym NFT is going to keep some people away. Yeah. It's just not there yet, which is why it's just that more reason to be cautious. You know? Yeah,
absolutely.
I think
that's a good point.
NFT to me could end up being like the WWW of the World Wide Web. You know, like it's there. That is what it is, but we don't call it by that. Maybe NFT has a new name in a couple of years. Yeah. But the technology is real and it's going to stay around.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Crazy. But do you want to talk about Reignmakers since we're on the topic, or get back to the experience and
let's do Reignmakers and we'll hop back since we're on it.
Cool. I tagged this because I know we spent a lot of a couple episodes ago talking about Reignmakers, but there were some prizes given out this last week that blew my mind. Yeah, that's why I texted you yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna get involved because I saw like a commercial on YouTube or something, and I know we were talking about it before, but I, for whatever reason, just fell off my radar. I was like, oh, I gotta go get me a team. Yeah, was it the one with Stephon Diggs and Kevin Hart and Lamar Jackson?
Exactly.
They're in their
that exact
PJs.
One.
Yes, it was awesome, and it's actually been really fun these first 2 weeks playing. We'll revisit later on in our season, but.
Yeah, what are some of the prizes?
On the NFT, these are just like insane prizes that speak to NFTs and Web3. But one of the cool things about Reignmakers is these different communities can build out their own contests within the Reignmakers platform. So the veefriends community, GaryVee, built out a Reignmakers league for veefriends that lasts, all season. They give out prizes accordingly each week. The first week, the prize, and I didn't even realize it was this big until yesterday when I realized what they were giving away the second week. But week one, the top prize for who won the league was a Gary original owned Series 1 NFT from his veefriends collection. Not only that, it's a gratitude gorilla, which is one of the biggest characters in veefriends land. So there are no Gary originally owned. They've got a little GOO symbol in the corner of the token.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it gives them like a little extra
little boost.
A little boost. It's like a Gary autograph or it's just
like a special edition.
Yeah, he initially bought it and it's been in his wallet. So he's, gifting it. It's his originally owned token going to the winner. It's estimated to be between like 75 and 100 grand.
Wow.
The gratitude gorilla.
And they already gave that out. Somebody already won that.
Yeah, they transferred it yesterday. I saw it go through when I was looking up these prices. I wish I found a picture of it. It's actually a cool doodle of Gary's.
Yeah.
Cool picture. But this is what I wanted to talk about. Yesterday, not as crazy of prizes, but how they did it was insane. So the winner of the contest yesterday got It's a Zero Cool, which is a company of fanatics. They put out these trading cards of the Series 1 veefriends characters. And the boxes of those are currently going for about $3,500 to $4,000. So
just the box.
Just the box.
Oh, okay.
The winning, we can see it on screen there. That box unopened is almost $4,000. So the winner of the contest gets one of those boxes. They get a ticket into a future big DraftKings event. They did a hit draft. This is a sports card term. They did a hit draft for the top 20. The top 20 people who finished in the contest, they ripped open 2 of these boxes. So they ripped open $75,000 worth of these boxes. Wow. And the first place winner gets to pick you get first dibs on where you want the cards that get pulled out of that. They send them to the top 20 winners. And based on your standing, you get to pick where you are in the order. So the first place winner gets the first pick in the cards that are pulled, and he gets one of those boxes. So
wait, the cards are pulled randomly, so they're not after the box is open, you get first pick, right? You don't get to see what's in there yet.
No, you do get to see it.
Okay.
So they did it live on YouTube last night. DraftKings opened them and showed them to everybody watching. As the cards were pulled.
Okay, because I was like, that would still kind of suck. You get first pick, and they're still in the box.
Right, and you don't really know.
Yeah.
That's actually how it goes. We were talking about Whatnot and selling trading cards. That's how they do card breaks normally, where you're bidding on spot teams that get pulled or divisions or spots, like the third card in this pack. You bid on it without knowing what you're going to get. You're bidding on the chance. With this one,
you get to actually see.
Yes, they give in the order of how you finish. They let you choose. Like the winner gets to pick. Does he want the first card, second card? He gets
Got it.
So they open all these boxes. There were some really great cards pulled, but the very last card they pulled was one of the most rare ones in the entire series. It was like a special card. There were 15 of them in all of the boxes, and there were 1,000 boxes, 10 cards apiece. So only 15 of these hand-drawn, autograph, one-of-one characters currently are going for the cheapest is $15,000 on eBay. And this one is supposed to be a pretty good character that Gary said will probably be $25,000. Today.
Wow. Okay.
Today, when everything's down in the bear market.
Wow.
So theoretically, this winner, I think his name was Intricately, like his username, he won, call it $25,000.
God.
That's insane.
This is why this stuff is so valuable.
Insane.
Understanding ownership and IP and what you can do with it, specifically entering that into the blockchain. Gary puts on a masterclass with that.
He does. He does. He's definitely got the hype, and these little moves he keeps making are smart. We were talking again off mic, founders who plan ahead for these bear markets. We talk about Doodles getting investment a week ago. It's hard to picture that. People are pumping money into these projects right now. The good ones, and
the bad ones.
That's true. Is it the right money going into the bad ones? I should say you're right. There's a lot of money being pumped into it. Seeing Doodles get $50 million. veefriends got $50 million a couple months ago. They got some money.
They're here. They're here to stay.
Yeah.
The track record. Again, if you're trying to get in and you're just look up the ownership, look up the development team. That helps kind of make everything a little bit less murky. It's still going to be murky. It is NFTs. But just knowing the team, and normally the price tag is associated with the good teams. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
You kind of understand what you're, not fully understanding, but you get a little bit of a hint of, okay, this should be legit.
Yeah. You know what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
It's wild. So I want to talk. I have to go on a little rant here. Talk about these baseball rule changes because it does tie in. Maybe I
educate me.
Maybe it's a little stretch, but it ties in. We were talking about experience and what utility holders get for NFTs. What things these companies are doing.
What do you get with being a part of this?
Yeah. And that's whether it's NFTs or just a Web2. Let's just normal
sports fan.
Yeah. What experience are the the projects the company's doing. And baseball it's got some issues in terms of gameplay and being exciting to fans that don't, not everyone loves baseball. It's slow. It takes 9 innings. It takes a long time.
People get hit in the face with baseballs.
Yeah, that could happen too. So they made some rule changes recently that are with the ultimate goal of speeding the game up. Like they're putting a pitch clock on pitchers. So you only have, if there's no one on base, you only have 15 seconds to pitch. If there's someone on base, you only have 20 seconds to pitch. They're putting rules on where the defenders can stand. Right now, if you're a left-handed hitter that can only hit it to the right side of the field, right now all the teams are putting some of their infielders over. They're stacking the right side or putting their shortstop in right field just because they know he's going to hit it to that side instead of to the opposite field. They're banning that from the game, so you can only stand on, there's got to be 2 infielders on each side. So what it's doing is instead of, prioritizing that hitters need to be able to hit to both sides of the field.
And strategy.
Yeah. You're taking you're allowing their flaws to be enhanced. You're allowing them to use them with the thought that it's going to speed the game up and it's going to be more exciting.
More scoring probably.
Yeah. But I don't think it's going to happen like that. Like the pitchers are a lot better now. Like the pitch clock isn't going to make them pitch much worse. So we're just going to have a lot of hitters who can't put the ball in. It's going to continue to be boring and long. And I know we only have a couple minutes left, so we may need to revisit this, but
for sure.
But the overall experience that baseball needs to do something to change how they're connecting with people. Because there's just not enough fans. And I love baseball. I can't sit through an entire game. It's the same 2 or 3 guys talking for 4.5 hours.
Right.
Like, it's just not exciting. But what many people don't understand, baseball actually limits the use of their social media by the players, by fans. Like there's not much a validated MLB content that anyone can use except for the MLB. They have like a central governing body that does all their marketing and social media, and it really limits how players can market themselves and how teams can market their players.
Right, and just interaction, because that's what I was going to get at, because like I'm not a baseball guy at any means, but I don't see any like involvement online or like them trying to do something with DraftKings or like like the leagues are doing different things for just the overall betterment of the league, and that includes empowering your players. I don't see that.
If Mike Trout walked down the street, if you walk right by him, would you know who he is or what he? Yeah, and he's might be the best baseball player of all time, if not top 5.
Yeah,
you wouldn't recognize him. He's just not out there. He plays out in Los Angeles. Like Julio Rodriguez plays in Seattle. You just don't know these players, and it's not football where they're wearing a helmet covering their face. Like they're baseball players.
Right.
So it's wild, and we're wrapping up here, but. To bring it back real quick, Harry Mack, my favorite freestyler on YouTube, he made a strategic decision a year ago to put all of his freestyle Omegle bars on YouTube. What is it, royalty free or whatever the phrase is, where anyone can use it at any time. And what happened was everybody started reacting to his videos on YouTube and just created this like churning effect of his content. Free beats. And he realized, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice some royalties, up front or guaranteed or whatever, but these moves are going to help my brand. It's going to make the experience so much better. And it's working.
Absolutely. Just like us getting with NRM, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
we had to expand our brand too. So I totally get it. Like the MLB, the dinosaur culture, like it needs to, be addressed. Like there's money to be made for everybody by just doing that too. Like, and I don't understand why they don't realize that.
I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know, man.
Well, hey, man, we'll go back on it next episode too, because I know there's a little bit more to get at there.
We'll see you lucky number episode 13.
Yeah, lucky 13. Thank you.